D, get back here. And he's gone. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, welcome into the Pwamps Show studio here. Welcome to Pwamps Place. I'm going to have a talk with D a little later because you're probably looking at this poster on your right called Ghost Squad. And you're thinking, that's Pwamps, that's not a movie we talked about. That's not a movie you brought up. What is this? What is this doing here? I had no clue this was happening. So this is, I'll tell you right now, that's me on the far right. That is me on the far right. This is a movie called Ghost Squad. I filmed it a long time ago, and it came out in August of 2015. A good little thing that I can compare it to is we talked about Monster House last week. Hey, we're a day from Halloween. It is Thursday, October 30th, folks. Halloween is tomorrow. Spooky season kind of coming to an end. But this is a perfect little movie to get your little ones into that Halloween spirit. It's a great little test, just be like, can they handle just a little bit of scares? But this movie came out in August of 2015. It has a great cast. I worked with Will Spencer, Cade Sutton, Madison Iceman, Jennifer Grant, and Kevin Nealon. And the interesting thing about Ghost Squad is that the director of this film was Joel Souza, who I'm sure all of you will know Joel from, he directed the movie Rust with Alec Baldwin, and the main storyline of Rust, the main news that came out of the movie Rust, was that on-set shooting. So obviously Ghost Squad was before Rust, but Joel was my director. I got to know him a little bit, and it was a really, really nice time, and I really enjoyed making this movie. We filmed this movie at Heritage Square Museum in California, and it was a really, really good time. We filmed for about 3 weeks, had a great time. And it's a movie that, like I said, if you got little ones that you're trying to introduce to a little bit of the Halloween vibe, just see what they can handle, this is a great one for you. Base storyline is, it's my two buddies and myself. We kind of get dared to staying in this big old mansion right here in the poster, trying to impress some girls at a young age. And we're like, hey, maybe we can get a girlfriend. And we take this dare. These big guys dare us to do it. Little do we know, the house is haunted, and it's called the Ghost Squad. That's the little vibe I'll tell you. We get dared to stay in this house. The movie's called Ghost Squad. I'll let you fill in the lines, read between the blanks. But it's one that if you want to have some little kids who want to see this movie that you're raising, this is a great little introduction to them to get them into the lighthearted, little bit of horror genre, little Halloween vibe. So that is what's over there. That is Ghost Squad. Like I said, I'll have to have a talk with Dennis later because he did not tell me he was putting that up. And then our other movie, of course, that is now playing, it is Back to the Future. It's back in theaters in all formats. Tonight is the early screenings, folks. We've got all the early screenings in all formats. And then, of course, we are talking about John Carpenter's Halloween. Let's get to the table. I'm ready to talk about it. I'll see you in there.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Hey, are you ready? It's time for the Pwamps Show. Hey, are you ready? It's time for the Pwamps Show. Hey, Pwamps. Hey, Pwamps. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Pwamps.
All right, everybody, so it seems like Dennis put the poster up at the table as well. So we're going to leave Ghost Squad up. I'll have to have a talk with him later. But Ghost Squad's staying up for now. And let's talk about what is now playing in a theater near you. Today is Thursday, October 30th. Tomorrow is Halloween, Friday, October 31st. And guess what? Tonight, we've got early screenings. Tomorrow we've got the official release of the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. Now, I just watched this movie again last night in 4K with the new restoration. I mean, every time I turn on Back to the Future, I have to watch it. No matter where it is in the movie, I got to watch it. It's one of the greatest movies ever made from Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis. This movie is a masterpiece. You obviously know the story of Marty McFly, Dr. Emmett Brown, George McFly, Lorraine Baines, Biff Tannen, and the whole cast of crew that is in Hill Valley. Now, one of my favorite moments I have to point out, again, after watching this movie that I've noticed it, but I didn't notice how well it was done. Michael J. Fox, he's in Lou's Cafe. It's the first time he's back in 1955 Hill Valley. Biff has just come in, talked to George and kind of Marty, making fun of Marty's life preserver, and Marty is seeing George for the first time in 1955. The scene kind of starts ending, and Marty says, "You're George McFly." George looks, "Yeah, who are you?" Before the conversation continues, Goldie comes over. Goldie Wilson, who is the current mayor in 1985. And I think one of the greatest scenes of acting, as subtle as it is in this movie, is Michael J. Fox noticing Goldie working in Lou's Cafe, just sweeping the floor, and putting the pieces together of how to navigate Goldie, getting him to where he needs to be mayor in 1985. This conversation goes on where Goldie says, "Stand tall, boy, have some respect for yourself." And then he continues on with, how are you going to let those boys push you around like that? George says, "Well, they're bigger than me." And it all keeps going. Goldie says, "I'm going to make something of myself." And Marty snaps and says, "That's right, he's going to be mayor." Goldie, then he has the infamous mayor. Now that's a good idea. I could run for mayor. Watch Michael J. Fox's eyes next time you check out this scene. The next time you watch Back to the Future, just watch it, because the way he puzzles it all together is remarkably well done. It's unbelievable. The 4K restoration, by the way, it is unbelievable. If you have not seen it, you get a chance to see it this weekend. It is next level stuff. Back to the Future, it looks like it could be a movie that came out today, the way they have restored this movie. It's unbelievable. Now, these characters, we love them all. Immediately you see them and you are just hooked on. You want to see how these journeys unfold. Whether it's Marty, does Marty make it back to 1985? What happens to Doc? Does Doc get killed by terrorists? We don't know. Do George and Lorraine get back together? What happens to Biff? You find all of that out in this expertly crafted movie. It's one of the best. Back to the Future is one of the greatest movies of all time, and that's not just me. Ask almost anybody, they will say Back to the Future is up there for them. Heck, I missed the Back to the Future ride at Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm a huge Simpsons fan, folks. I've seen every episode of The Simpsons. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. But man, oh man, I love the Back to the Future ride with Doc Brown and Biff Tannen. I would love to see that again back at Universal Studios. I talked about FanFest nights at Universal, going on to the Universal backlot, them recreating and bringing Hill Valley to life. After watching Back to the Future, my oh my, I almost think it should be permanent at Universal Studios Hollywood. And I know that's not possible. That's an acting, and that is an active working set, working backlot. That would be insane to do that. But I tell you what, Back to the Future is phenomenal. It is one of a kind. And guess what? We'll talk about these another time. But Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 3, people always moan and groan about sequels. They're like, oh my gosh, sequels, why? Why do we have to have sequels to these movies? Why do we have to do remakes? These are two of the best sequels you're going to find out there. They continue the story remarkably well. They introduce new characters while bringing back some of your favorites you've seen before in all these different ways with many twists and turns that keep you on the edge of your seat, but also think, okay, that makes sense. Oh, that was really well done. Back to the Future. It's one of the greatest movies ever to grace the big screen. It's also one of the best trilogies of movies of all time. We just watched it. That's what's now playing. Go see Back to the Future in your theater now, folks. This is your chance to see it in the best way possible. I've said it the past two shows. You've got Dolby Cinema, you've got IMAX, you've got 4DX, you've got ScreenX. Go check out Back to the Future. It's phenomenal. It is a blast from the past. Enjoy Back to the Future. Now let's talk about what's coming soon to a theater near you. All right, everybody, welcome to our Coming Soon segment. And this time, I'm going to do things a little bit different. here's what we've got. We take a look now at the month of November. This is a big movie month. A very big movie month. We've got movies every week that I think you are going to want to flock to your theaters to see. You're going to be rushing. It will be like Black Friday getting to a movie theater. Where do we start? Well, obviously today is Thursday, October 30th. We've talked about Back to the Future. That is the big one that is dropping tomorrow with the early screenings tonight. We've gone over that. Now, how about November 7th? Well, it's a big moment for the Predator universe. Predator Badlands is coming into theaters with Elle Fanning. It's the latest chapter in the Predator universe. You are going to want to check that out. If you are a fan of the Predator universe, if you like the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic, if you liked Prey, if you liked all of these Predator movies, this one is for you. If you like sci-fi, if you like aliens, go check out Predator Badlands. Then, how about November 14th? The big movie coming November 14th. We've got Now You See Me, Now You Don't. The Four Horsemen. They are back with Jesse Eisenberg, Dave Franco, Woody Harrelson, and Isla Fisher, all reprising their roles from the original Now You See Me. Also, don't forget, Morgan Freeman is back in there as well. If you liked The Incredible Wonderstone, if you liked the Now You See Me movies, this is the third one. This is the third in the trilogy. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Is it the finale? We don't know. We're going to have to find out. Then, November 21st, folks. All eyes, as you can probably predict, we know what the biggest movie of November is. Wicked for Good. Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jeff Goldblum, Michelle Yeoh, Jonathan Bailey. Everybody is talking about Wicked for Good. Now they've got Amazon early screenings. Amazon early screenings. They did this for the original Wicked. They're doing it again for Wicked for Good. Those take place on November 17th. They're doing a Wicked double feature. They're doing other early screenings on the 18th, 19th, and 20th. So just keep your eyes out for those. Tickets are flying off the shelves, folks. The box office can't handle the amount of tickets that people are buying for Wicked for Good. It's one of the most anticipated movies of the year, right alongside Avatar, Fire and Ash. Those are the two that everybody is saying which one is going to win the year box office. We're going to be paying close attention to that race. Then right after that, folks, it is Zootopia 2. This is another great one. A great one. Jennifer Goodwin's back. You've got Jason Bateman back. If you love the first Zootopia, we're finally getting a follow-up to see what's going on with Judy Hopps, what's going on with Nick Wilde in the city of Zootopia. That's what we've got. That is what the month of November looks like. It is jam-packed. There are even more movies coming out that I didn't get to. We're going to talk about those all through the month of November. We'll have it right here for you. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait. Movies are just great, especially when you go to your theater. See them in the way they were intended. Okay? Get to a theater, watch them the way that you were meant to. In the big screen with other people. I remember going to watch Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, when you've got people that are cheering and going nuts and you've got people screaming in a horror movie, like I just did with Black Phone 2, it's the way movies were meant to be seen. Go do that. Support theaters. I don't want to sit at home on my couch and watch new movies. Theaters, we need them badly, folks. Spend tickets, go take 2 hours, go see a movie on the big screen. It's the way they were meant to be seen. Go check it out. That's what we've got coming soon. That is what the month of November looks like. Now, let's talk about Halloween. All right, ladies and gentlemen, trick or treat. The boogeyman is here, October 25th, 1978. That is when, and nobody knew, Halloween came to our screens. Nobody knew what Halloween would become today. The original slasher film, the birth of a legend. Two legends, to be exact. You've got Michael Myers, and then you've got Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. Directed by John Carpenter, with a score by John Carpenter, this movie is folks, it is the classic horror movie. You have to see Halloween. We've all hopefully just watched it. We've all hopefully seen it. This movie is iconic. And it starts with one of the most iconic opening scenes in cinema history. We go back to 1963, where a young Michael Myers kills his older sister. Now, I want to talk about this scene for a minute because you don't see many scenes like this in movies. This is an 11-year-old kid we're talking about. Michael, outside his house, he sees that his sister is kind of getting on with her boyfriend, and he goes, gets a knife, climbs the stairs, finds a mask. We see him just pick up this clown mask, put it on, go through the house, and then just kill his sister. This scene is complete with John Carpenter's score. There's a time where his sister goes upstairs with her boyfriend and the light goes off. And the minute the light goes off, the music in perfect sync. Ding! Perfect. We're all seeing this through a first-person POV of young Michael as he works his way through the house, as he grabs the knife, as he ascends the stairs, as he puts on his little clown mask, and then as he kills his sister. The POV ends when Michael walks back outside. His parents arrive back to the house. They say, "Michael?" In that kind of a weird voice. "Michael?" And then they take off Michael's mask. He's got the knife. There's blood on it. And they just stand there as we fade out. We then get introduced to Jamie Lee Curtis in what I think is probably, if not the best, one of her best roles of all time. I think many people would agree. Her performance as Laurie Strode in the original Halloween. Yes, she's in the sequels, but the original Halloween performance, this is Jamie Lee at her finest here. And this was one of her first projects, folks. Remember, reminder there. Halloween is what sent Jamie Lee Curtis on her way. And she was phenomenal in this movie. She was fantastic. So, we are in Haddonfield, Illinois now in 1978. And Michael Myers, he's been in prison for a long time. We get introduced to Dr. Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance, who, he just, every scene he's in, Donald Pleasance steals. He's just a world-class actor at this, folks, come on. He's unbelievable. So we're introduced to him as Dr. Loomis. He's been studying Michael for a long time. Finally, Michael is getting transferred from prison to a different prison. He breaks out. He's now on the loose. Michael is back in Haddonfield. Now, everybody knows about the boogeyman. Everybody knows when Michael killed his sister 15 years ago. Michael is now grown. He is fit, and he is ready to terrorize Haddonfield on Halloween night. We've got a couple people who run into Michael during this movie. You've got Annie, you've got Linda. You've got some serious things that happen to them. And it all comes down to the final moments where Laurie is babysitting for Tommy and he's babysitting Lucy. Michael is there. After just committing these other two murders to Laurie's best friends, he's on the hunt for Laurie. Laurie has a great chase with him where they end up getting in an altercation. Meanwhile, Loomis is strolling the streets of Haddonfield looking for Michael Myers. We get to our final confrontation, folks. Loomis shoots Michael. Michael goes falling back. He staggers back. He then shoots him 5 more times. He shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. That's Loomis's quote. Michael goes falling off the balcony. Loomis thinks it's over. He goes, walks to the end of the balcony. Michael has vanished. His body is gone. Meanwhile, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, she starts to cry. Starts to sob because this is not over. Michael is still out there, still on the loose. In my opinion, the greatest horror movie ever made. The original Halloween. And yeah, you know what? I know it has some cliches. I know it has some goofs in there. This movie is next level. Can you imagine if this was going on in your little town? Terrifying. Michael Myers is the horror icon he is now, okay? He is unreal. He is next level. People think of horror, they think Michael Myers. He is the face of the horror genre. Laurie Strode, she's the female badass of the horror genre, folks. Halloween, 1978, John Carpenter. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance. It's a classic. It is the classic. As it says in the trailer, the classic Halloween. It's an awesome one. Now, usually here, I would go to the retro wheel, but you know, Dennis keeps telling me, just watch Ghost Squad this week. Okay, I usually wouldn't have you do this, but it's the day before Halloween. If you really are wanting to take it and take your investment into the Pwamps show just up at one more level, you know, why don't you go watch Ghost Squad? It's available on streaming. You can find it on Prime Video. You can find it on Netflix. You can find it on Fandango at home. You can find it on any streaming service, and you can check it out. I would appreciate it. You know I would appreciate it. I'm sure my other castmates would appreciate it. They would love to hear that you watched it. If you do, let me know in the comments. If you like what you saw today at Pwamps Place, let me know in the comments. Leave a little like. Why don't you click subscribe? I would really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. And I know that I'm really, like I said, I'm going to talk to Dennis about him putting this Ghost Squad poster up. I didn't know it was happening, folks. Okay, I promise. Anyway, have a great Halloween. Trick or treat. Hopefully you all get some good candy. I'll see you on Monday for the sports show. We'll have a good time. Enjoy trick or treat. Enjoy Halloween. Have a good one, folks.